going into a trance, because like the thing about voodooism is that like people believe themselves to be going into trances when they're like being possessed by a demon, but not like a evil demon, a demon that can help you out in some way, shape, or form. Actually, there was a dictator in Haiti called Papa Doc Duvalier that actually reimposed voodooism to Haiti, and now look how bad that country.
Vodun?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
What about voodoo?
Voodoo, yeah, that makes me think of like Haiti and like Louisiana with dolls. You stab with things and then it hurts the person. Like I don't think it's evil or anything, but it's kind of like non-science. Usually like the evil witch doctor stuff, and like it ends up being like the guy who's eating a human in like bones or whatever, who's also voodoo.
Witch doctors and spells and dances and stuff.
Primitive witchcraft. Countries where slaves came from.
I don't know. Kind of witchcraft or music, kind of fast-paced, kind of dissonant, kind of eerie sounding. There was a Gilligan's Island episode once where there was a doll and pincushions. So that's what I would associate with voodoo.
When most people think of voodoo, they tend to imagine outlandish rituals and human sacrifices performed by questionable witch doctors. These misconceptions are thanks to the writings of a man called Spencer St. John, who wrote a purely sensationalist narration of his time spent as a diplomat in Haiti. Called Haiti, or the Black Republic, and published in 1884, it chronicled supposed voodoo rituals of barbaric and cannibalistic Africans. The account encouraged the world to reject the ancient religion. In the years leading up to the present day, there's been a distinct divide between two forms of the religion. For clarity's sake, we shall refer to this false sensationalist group as the voodoo cult, and the traditional African religion as West African Vodun. Vodun originated in West Africa, thus the classification is West African Vodun. Most prominent in the countries of Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Le Côte d'Ivoire, Vodun has existed for thousands of years, surpassing even some of the most ancient religions in terms of age. There are millions of followers of the religion, many of whom reside in Benin, the only nation where Vodun is regarded as one of the official national religions. Due to the scattered distribution of tribes across Western Africa during the time period in which Vodun arose, there are several interpretations of the religion. Despite this, there are many values, traditions, and rituals that unite the religion as a single entity. Before going into the specifics of West African Vodun, it is important to understand how its followers view the world. The world of the living is mysterious. That is, those inhabiting it cannot even begin to comprehend the mysteries of life. Such a privilege is reserved for the beings of the invisible world. West African Vodun focuses on the relationship between the living world and the invisible world. Most practitioners of West African Vodun believe in the existence of a single god called Mawu, who is both omniscient and omnipotent. Because of this, the followers of Vodun relate directly to spirits of the invisible world, whom they call Loa. Not unlike the saints of Christianity, the Loa are spirits of the dead, often famed ancestors, who are associated with a specific trait or phenomenon. Even though the people pray and worship directly to these figures, Vodun is still considered to be monotheistic, as its followers regard the Loa as their connection to the distant Mawu, an invisible world. This connection reaches its climax in what we call spiritual possessions. The Vodunists, however, would call this the method by which the Loa communicate with the living. According to the Vodun faith, there is a portion of one's soul that can leave the physical body and allow the soul of a Loa to enter. Even though possessions have been known to affect the general population, priests and priestesses are the most likely to host a Loa. The process by which this is done is perhaps one of the most misunderstood aspects of the entire religion. A sacred ceremony can invoke the Loa, complete with dancing, singing, and animal sacrifice. To an outsider, it may look like an atrocious or barbaric ritual, which has had a significant role in the negative connotations associated with this term. Another important aspect of West African Vodun has to do with the fact that it claims all material items contain some sort of spiritual power. While these items are often bones, dolls, and statues, virtually anything can become one of these spiritually powered items, even a rock. These are called fetishes in West African Vodun, and they are likely the inspiration behind the magic of the voodoo cult. While we generally use the term fetish to describe items in a sexual context, there is no connection with West African Vodun. Due to the misunderstanding of this context, some very ignorant individuals have used the idea of fetishes to tarnish the reputation of West African Vodun. The most authentic representation of the Vodun religion can be seen today in Benin's annual Vodun Festival. Held on January 10th, the celebration draws tourists from all over the world to the city of Ouidah, eager to experience the mysteries of a misunderstood culture. Unfortunately, the attention has tempted the impoverished Beninese people with the opportunity for economic gain. Vendors can be seen advertising various souvenirs for spectators at the festival, detracting slightly from the authenticity of the experience. As sheltered young adults living in America, we are most familiar with the voodoo cult as portrayed through television, movies, and books. Perhaps the most cultured of us have encountered the hybrid religion present particularly in the United States, Haiti, and various countries of South America. This hybridization of West African Vodun, Islam, Christianity, and indigenous religions was caused by the African diaspora. At the peak of the slave trade, West Africa was an extremely large contributor to the atrocious Middle Passage. Many of the Africans kidnapped from their homes were followers of Vodun. Brought to the colonies of the French, the slaves managed to preserve their religion despite the suppression of their owners. It was during this time that the West African Vodun religion began to merge with other religions, resulting in hybridized beliefs. Not quite West African Vodun, but certainly not voodoo cult. These practices almost have to be classified as a religion of their own.